rider. When we were together in Moto2, we want to win each other and we push each other to the limit. We reached a level at the end of the season that was awesome. I'm looking forward to this year with you.
I think we make a good team together to can level up the team, which I think are going to be a nice season together. You cannot imagine how big is the change from Moto2 to MotoGP bike. The concept of 44 races are quite difficult, you know, for a rider. But at the end, I think for us are going to be good to have more time on the bike.
You need to be very, very, very patient and trust the process.
Jasper's in combination with Red Bull, the brands are a good fit together with the two young riders in the team. This makes a lot of sense.
It's definitely the team to watch out, but not just in 24. I mean, it's still a young brand in MotoGP and we want to build up something great for the future.
Our lineup 2024 will be even younger.
I felt ready to face this new season with all the knowledge from last year. My target is to be at the front and we have the possibility to be there.
Just be focused in racing, that is the important thing at the moment.
The team is ready.
Pedro, tell us about your first day on the RC16 at Valencia. It must have been a whole world of discovery. We've seen some interesting MotoGP videos about it. Now that it's in the past and you can process it and think about it, how was it?
Was quite nice. Was quite nice. At the end, first day in a MotoGP, first day in a big MotoGP team with many people from the factory around for this. Was quite nice, the experience at the end. Again, new challenge, again, new bike, and then, again, new people around for this. Was quite interesting also. Just understand how the faster guys of the factory was riding the bike, and was quite interesting being in, you know, in the middle of the cameras for one day.
What were the big surprises of riding a MotoGP bike for the first time?
Well, to be honest, I didn't expect that was gonna be so powerful that this, you know, at the end, you cannot imagine how big is the change from Moto2 to MotoGP bike. At the end, it's completely different, no? Starting from the brakes, from the gearbox, for the chassis is a pack, you know, that you need to understand how to ride from first day.
You had to change, I mean, you grew up as well, coming from Moto3 to Moto2. Can you talk about some of the preparation you had to make physically and mentally to make the move to MotoGP?
MotoGP bike, I think, is much more physical than Moto2 bike. At the end, we tried just to take a little bit more muscle, try to grow up a little bit in this area and improve again the cardio. That was one of my tricky points, I think. But also it's true that everyone in the factory and also from Red Bull are helping us for make the step a little bit easier for this. Was quite tough to do it, but I think are making good steps.
One big learning as well this year will be 44 races instead of just 22. That's another concept for you physically and mentally to get ready for, right?
Yeah, the concept of 44 races are quite difficult, you know, for a rider with stress, pressure and these things. But at the end, I think for us are gonna be good to have this time on the bike, have more session during a weekend and can spend more time on the bike to can understand how to ride the bike, depend of the condition and depend of the track.
After 2 titles in 3 years, many people are saying you're the next superstar of the sport. How do you handle those comments, that attention, that fuss around you?
I don't know. I try to don't think about it. I just try to think in myself. It's true that from the experience that I take in 2022, I learned that it was quite difficult to manage this pressure for this. You know, I take all the experience I take it this year just for don't get stressed, for don't listen to people around and just be focused in racing. That is the important thing at the moment.
Sometimes do you have moments to reflect? You know, if I take you back to your days winning races in the Red Bull Rookies MotoGP Cup, I mean, are you surprised by the speed in which you've arrived to MotoGP and the success you've had?
Yeah, I think everyone was surprised about it. The most for sure myself, you know, because imagine one guy that arrived to the Rookies Cup, spent 2 years, then lose his first contract to jump to Moto3, then from the day to the night arrive in the KTM factory team from Moto3, then win the first season, jump to Moto2, spend 2 seasons, finished his Moto2 season winning the championship, and then coming up to MotoGP with factory team again, in this case with Gasgas, was quite, I don't know, nice and quite fast, you know. It's not the normal way for a rookie, and also it's not the timings or the normal timings for a rider, you know. But anyway, the lives come like this. I just try to don't think about it at the end. Many things can happen now, but it's true that the rookies can give me everything to can approach these years and to can manage myself also in the difficult moments.
If you look at other sports, then your story is almost unique as well, right? I mean, it's maybe like a star player coming into the first team in football very fast. It's something quite special.
If you start to think since my beginning of the races, was quite nice. Was quite nice to say I have the opportunity to arrive at factory team in my first season. It's nice to say I win 2 titles in 3 years. It's nice to say I come in a factory team for first season in MotoGP. But it's also quite tough, you know, to play with the pressure, to play with the comments, to play with the, I don't know, with the people around, you know. It's not quite easy when you are 20 years old. I mean, it's not the normal timings for a young guy, you know. Normally, when you are 20, you arrive to Moto3 or maybe to Moto2, you know. Now, I arrive directly to MotoGP with big name behind, with big names in the grip this year, with a big factory behind me. For this, it's quite difficult to manage all this pressure, but anyway, I try to live with this.
You're about to start a big new chapter for your career. By the end of this season, what will you be happy with? What will you say, okay, we did well in this way?
I don't think about the result at the moment. I mean, I just jumped one day on the bike and it's not time enough to talk about result or to talk about targets because it's not realistic at the moment, you know, for this. I will try to enjoy in Malaysia test. I will try to get as much as experience I can for try to can be competitive at the beginning of the season. But during there, we need to take experience to can growing up step by step.
Many rookies talk about the difficulty of braking a MotoGP bike and finding the limit. Do you think this will be the hardest part, or maybe some other elements of riding the bike?
For me, to be honest, the difficult things was the electronic, you know, understand what you need in every moment of the track, and also how to ride with the electronic, you know. It was something so new for only one day, you know, but anyway, it's true that the braking was quite different from what I arrived from. It's taking time to understand how to be competitive and how to be fast on a MotoGP bike, you know, because it's much more complex than other bikes. But anyway, we're on the way.
Pedro, in the past, you had Aki Ayu helping you. This year, the group grows. You know, you'll be able to rely on advice from Dani Pedrosa, Pol Espargaró, Mika Kallio, of course, the whole of the team as well. That's going to be a big assist for you, right?
Yeah, not at the end, having for sure Dani and Paul that are guys that really know how is MotoGP class and also how is the KTM bike are gonna help us a lot. For sure, have these guys so close to us, like I see in Valencia, are gonna be so nice to trying to improve as fast as possible. It's true that are not gonna be easy again with the pressure to have these big names around me, but we will try.
You're a young Spanish world champion, and you're representing a cool young Spanish brand in MotoGP. Is that also something different?
Well, it's something to be proud of. It's something to be proud of. At the end, was so long from the last time that one Spanish rider make really big result with a Spanish brand for this. I think are gonna be interesting. It's true that, like I say, we cannot talk about the result at the moment, but anyway, are gonna be something to be proud of.
Once again, you're with Augusto in the team. Tell me what he's like as a person and also a racer.
Well, funny person for sure. The year that we spent together, I think we laugh a lot. We was pushing each other to can arrive to the maximum level. At the end, this season he win the championship for this. I think we make a good team together to can level up the team and these things for this. I think are gonna be a nice season together.
You, Augusto.
Augusto, looking back in your debut season in 2023, was there a moment or a time or a race where you thought, okay, I'm settled, I feel confident, I can fight now?
Well, there's been one for sure, that was Le Mans, where I felt Very good since the beginning of the weekend, I have to say. But of course, on Friday, I didn't know what was going to happen. And the fourth position in the end on Sunday was incredible. But also I felt good at the last part of the season. I felt fast. I felt like I had the speed. So I felt comfortable riding the MotoGP bike. Yeah, just missing the final result, like the fourth in Le Mans was, like I said, was incredible. But I felt good during the last part of the season with the bike and everything.
When you reached the end of the season in 2023, was it like the end of a whirlwind of emotion and thoughts and lots of analysis? Because it must have been a pretty crazy time in your career, taking everything new on board at the highest level.
You don't realize till you finish the season, until you are at home and you analyze everything and all the season. But it's been hard and long. But obviously, I'm happy with how things went in the end, because there was an improvement every race, and I was gaining speed. I was gaining confidence with the bike. As you said, was everything new, and there were a lot of things to learn. But finally, I felt ready to face this new season with all the knowledge from last year. I feel ready now.
Can you try and describe to us and MotoGP fans what it's like to do a rookie season of 40 races? I mean, it must be tiring at points, it must be frustrating at others, but it must also be exhilarating and fun as well.
Yeah, well, it's fun when you have good results, like always, but it's hard because there's a lot of new things and you need to be very, very, very patient and trust the process, trust the rookie process. It can last a lot of races or maybe the whole year. You have to be confident on the small steps, So you have to know that you are making those steps, even if you're not seeing them. So it's been hard, but once you finish the season, you analyze everything. I realized that, yeah, the steps were made, and for sure we are ready to take the next step for this year.
Was there one place or one circuit where you really felt the force and power of MotoGP, where it kind of made you think, wow, this is pretty impressive?
Well, all the races from the beginning of the year were like, every time I was on the MotoGP bike was like, wow. Every time out of box on the pit lane, once I switched off the pit limiter, was like, wow, this is super powerful. But then you get used to it. But I remember one race like in Misano, like we're coming from big trucks and maybe low grip tracks, and I remember Misano like small track again and with a lot of grip, and I felt the power again. So yeah, you never get used to it.
Did the off-season help when it came to that analysis and that post-season chill-out time where you could think about, okay, this is what I need from the bike to be a bit better, but also from myself, this is what I need to work on? And what conclusion did you make?
Yeah, sure, it helps, and you have time to analyze everything, and we know our weak points and our strong points and what we have to work for this year. Being a rookie on every track was a hard point. Like I felt like I was on a new track every time I was on Friday on the MotoGP bike. I knew the tracks, but with the MotoGP it was completely different. So that's what I'm looking forward to for this year. Fridays, we need to put a lot of input there because it can decide all the weekend because of the Q2 and everything. So that's an important day, and we need to have a step there. And I think we know it, and we are working on it.
In 2024, you're not a rookie, but you're still so close to the beginning of your career in this class. So I think that's something important for people to remember, right? The learning never stops, as the cliche goes.
Yeah, sure. I don't feel like I was feeling when I won the Moto2 championship, like with the bike and everything. So I feel like I need to learn a lot of new things still and keep learning and have the patience to keep growing on this class. But for sure, my target is to be at the front, as I have been some races last year, so be more consistently at the front, and I think we have the possibility to be there.
The Red Bull Gas TECH3 team let you learn and adjust in 2023. Do you think this year you're ready to play a bigger role? You're ready to give some evaluations and new parts to help a bit more in the development of the bike, as well as try to get the results?
Yeah, for sure. Already last year, even if it was on delay, I felt immediately the difference, and I think we were doing a good job analyzing everything and also choosing what was best for myself, but also in general for the bike, for the performance. And I think we're doing, all the KTM group, we are doing a great job, and I think we're improving a lot the bike and everything. So I think we can have a good year this year.
Off the bike, you were busier than ever, I guess, you know, with media responsibilities. MotoGP was also doing more promotion activities. You were representing a brand new brand in the sport. How was that experience for you?
Obviously, I'm super proud to be like partnering with Red Bull this year on the bike, and you know, like a dream come true. Being in MotoGP with Red Bull and Gas, and it's a dream. So yeah, it's our now hands now to perform. We have everything, so let's go for it.
Lastly, you know Pedro fairly well. What's he like as a person, as a racer, and what's this season going to hold in store, do you think?
Everybody knows him. I think he's a super talented rider, and I expect him to be fast as he was already in Valencia since the very beginning, already in Sepang test. I think he has a lot of days to adapt to the bike and the track, and he will be competitive for sure for the 3-day stage then with everybody. It will be good for the team, I think, as it was when we were together in Moto2. We want to win each other, and we push each other to the limit, and in the end we reach a level at the end of the season that was awesome in Moto2. Yeah, looking forward to this year with him.
Thank you.